Hello, and welcome back to the final episode of Silent War 2.0, Short Campaign 3, Hold the Line. I'm Tim. We are now in March of 1942, which will be the last month of the scenario, one way or another. It will either end at the end of week 4 of March, or if we have the fall of the Dutch East Indies war event occur. All right, so let's get started with our war event phase. We have a 2 on the first die, so we do have a war event. An 8 is going to be no roll on the ultra table this turn. So we will skip that and go straight to the weather phase. Let's see what we've got for March. Sorry, May, I mean. We still need a 0 to get any sort of weather formation. So let's see what we get. Black die is a 1, so no weather. Very close. All right, that will take us to the R segment. We have no reinforcements. Our ready submarines, we just have the 1 here that moves over to ready for sea. And then we've got a couple to roll for repairs. We'll start with repair box 1, needing a 5 or less. Nope. And repair box 3, needing a 1 or less. No. So no movement on the submarines in repair. We'll move all of these that are at sea to the operating section, and all 3 of them are just returning to base. So this is going to be a very quick turn. We got 3 returning and 1 going out. So let's take care of these guys first. We'll start in the South Philippine Sea with K8 coming back through the Banda Sea to the Java Sea. So we will use, we'll choose this one in case we get stopped. So we have our +1, -1 modifiers again. +1 for narrow and or shallow, and -1 for being on transit side. So only a 7, 8, or 9. We'll trigger that. No transit event check required. So he goes to the broom box. Next, let's have this one in the South China Sea. Again, 7, 8, or 9. Possible transit event. 7. And those both get modified by +1 for the narrow water, narrow or shallow. But a 1 and a 1 is not going to be anything. Here it is. Yep, 1 and 1. So no event. He makes it back safely as well. That was K11. He goes to the broom box. And then we will bring back K12. Same thing. Using Java Sea as the area to perform the check. So 7, 8, or 9. 9. These are both modified by +1. Ooh, so a 10 and then a 4. So again, there is no 10 row, but on the 4 row, a 4 is just spotted, which doesn't matter because he removes it when he gets back to base. So he will also return to the broom box unscathed. And that just leaves us with the K14 that we need to send out. I think we'll send him to the South China Sea 2 area. So he will leave from here. And we just have 2 red boxes in that area. We don't count the Java Sea since that's the one we left from. So We got +1, -1 modifiers again, so just the 8 or 9 this time. We did get a 9. And wow, 10 and 10. That's going to be bad. He is lost at sea, cause unknown. I assume that still counts as a lost sub. So that's going to bump up our lost sub total to 3. We're just 1 away from having to decrease our victory level by 1. Almost hoping the Dutch East Indies fall now. All right, so that's going to be it. We've got no spotted markers to remove, no weather to do anything with, so we just advance to week 2. And back to the war event phase. We got a 1 on there and a 2, and look at that. I think we just got it. If I remember correctly from last episode. Oh, nope. I was thinking this was roll number 2. That was 1. So we've got special mission, barrier mission in the East Indies Straits. This is the one that we have to send 4 submarines if we can. We've only got a possibility of 3 coming out, so we'll just have to see how many of those make it out, and they will all have to go to either the Makassar or Molucca Straits. So in this case, it would have to be the Makassar Strait because they have to be within 1 op area. Although I guess technically, if they come out here, they are still technically only 1 op area away and then could move into the Molucca Strait. So we'll see what happens. For our ultra roll, we got a 1, which is going to be Empire Pacific and the Gilberts, so nothing that we can react to. And our weather, again, only a 0 on the black die will matter. Did not happen. So we can move on to our Triple R segment. So these 3 subs all need rolls. And it looks like they're all readiness value of 3. So we'll just go top to bottom one at a time. So first one does not make it to ready for sea. Second one does. And the third one does. So K8 goes to pier side. The other 2 go to ready for sea. All right, we have no one currently at sea, so we don't have to move anyone to the operating section. So on to the operations segment. And as I said, since we do have subs that are within 1 op area of the special mission zone called for by the war event, we are able to move them out, flip them to patrol side, and move them into the special mission zone. They will have to do a transit event check into the special mission zone. It counts as patrol movement, so they don't get the -1 modifier. And there's actually a +2 modifier for entering an SMZ. And then they'll also have the +1 from narrow and or shallow waters. And we'll be using this area activity chart for that check. So it's a total of +3. And so if after a +3 modifier we get a 7, 8, or 9, we'll have to do that. And that's only going to be a 5, so they have no transit event. They will conduct search and contact, again using this area activity chart. And a couple modifiers at play here. We have +1 for being in narrow, and then whatever result we get will actually be increased by 1 level, unless we get a no result or no contact or high density. Anything else will get raised by 1 level though. So we got a 7, which will be modified up to an 8, which is already high density. And then the 5 is going to give us a large convoy. So that's going to be a high density large convoy 5432. I'll set that up on the combat display and be back in a moment. All right, so here's what we have. With having lost 3 subs already, I'm a little bit leery of going aggressive posture, so I think we'll just stick with standard from here on out, I believe, and or cautious if we feel it's necessary. So standard attack posture, we get to flip over 2 of these. Let's go for this one. Okay. And let's go for the top one. Ooh, 4,000 tons, nice. All right, our TDC markers will go on those 2 ships. Oh, great, a -3 on that one, and a -1 there. All right, let's see if we can bag this. So we've got our 3 attack, -1 for 2, minus the 2 defense of the ship is 0, but then +3 for the TDC marker. So we need a 3 or less on the black die. And we got it. And a 4 might just be enough to sink that. Yes, it is. We're at 4,000 tons, so we're still on the top line. A 4 modified down to 3 for the torpedo modifier is still a sunk result. So 1 more ship, 4,000 more tons. Puts us up to 23 ships total and 43,000 tons. All right, that was great. Let's see, there's no counterattack because there's no revealed ASW. For the re-attack round, we're going to have to reveal that Rising Sun flag even if we go cautious. So I'm thinking we just stay standard and we'll flip it. 1-ton destroyer, and let's flip the one under it. Okay, another merchant, little baby one. All right, so we get our 2 TDC markers again. -1 for that, and a +1 for that. Then since we're in the re-attack round, they're each an additional -1. So I think we'll take a shot at this 1,000-ton merchant. So we've got our 2 attack value, -1 from the defense of the ship, -1 for the half ASW value we have showing, +2 for our TDC. So we need a 2 or less to hit. And we did not get it. This time we do face a counterattack of 1 plus, again, Again, we use the connected op area, so it's going to be 3 red boxes, and it is considered shallow water. So it's going to be a total of 4. We only get to subtract 1 for our defense because of the shallow water. So we're on the 3 to 4 row, and we have a +1 modifier for the re-attack round. So 3 to 4 row at a +1. 4 + 1 is a 5. Second roll is an 8. Just barely got away with nothing happening to us. All right. So then we will clear this off. We have to do an endurance check. So we are a D rating. None of these modifiers will apply. So we need a 2 or less to stay at C. Nope. Oh, I'm sorry. Special mission zone, no endurance check. We immediately voluntarily RTB, which means it happens this turn. And since we're already in the op area that we're heading into base, there's no transit event check. So he just makes it back safely. And we are on to the K-11. So he will again flip to patrol side, enter the SMZ, transit event check with a +3 DRM, +2 for entering the SMZ, +1 for narrow and shallow. He got a 3 + 3 is a 6, so just outside of the red boxes. So we don't have to do a transit event check. And then for search and contact, +1 for narrow. And then again, the density will be raised 1 level. So we got a 0, which bumps up to a 1. So it just gets us into that sparse. And then the second die was a 6, which is going to be a large convoy, I believe. Yes. So a sparse large convoy is going to be 3, 2, 1, 1. So I'll set that up and be right back. Okay, here's what we have for the K-11. I think I'm going to have him set up in column B. And standard attack posture, or normal. Forget the exact wording of that. So we'll flip over 2. We'll just do the 2 in our column. We've got an armored merchant. Ooh, and a 2,000-ton destroyer. All right. TDCs. Go 1 here. And let's go 1 here. All right. So we'll see if we have a shot at this merchant here. We've got our 2 attack rating, -2 for the ship armor is 0, and then -2 for the ASW value. So yeah, we don't have a shot. So since it's the initial attack round and we did not make a shot, there is no counterattack. So we can head straight to the re-attack round, or we can just withdraw if we wish. I think we'll slide over to column A. We'll stay standard attack posture. We're going to have to flip this one. Yep, that's what I was afraid of. And then let's see what this guy is. Okay. Oh, nice. Nice target, but I'm pretty sure we're not going to have a shot at that. Just got to hope we survive the counterattack. this time, even if we don't have a shot, we still will be counterattacked for the reattack round. +1, -1. Yeah, we're not going to have a shot. So 3 goes down to 2. We're at -4 now on the ASW value plus the defense of the ship. There's no way. So no shot, but we do get counterattacked this time. So 2, 3.5 rounds up to 4. +3 from our op area red boxes is 7. We only get to subtract 1 for defense because of the shallow water. So we're on the 5 to 6 row with a +1 modifier for a reattack round. Let's hope we don't get anything too bad. Nope. So that's going to be a 3. On the 5 to 6 row is nothing. We got lucky there. Again, since we're in an SMZ, we skip the endurance check. We immediately voluntarily RTB, and we're just zipping around in the same op area, so no transit check required. And back to the broom box. So that was our second sub that we've sent of the 4 that we're supposed to, if possible. But as you can see, we have no one else left to send. So that will do it for week 2. No spotted markers to remove, no weather. So we move on to week 3. Combat event, or war event phase. We got a 9, so no war event. For the ultra area, it's going to be 2. Which is South China Sea 1 and the Bonans. So one of them is in our valid operating areas, but we don't have anyone on patrol, so won't be able to take advantage of that. Weather check, again needing a 0 on the first die roll. Did not get one. So we'll move ahead to the RRR segment. K8 goes ready for C. We'll roll for these 2. They both need a 3 or less. So we'll go black die for the top, white die for the bottom. Neither one of them. So they both go pier side. And then for our repairs, we need a 5 or less for them. Got it. So he comes down. And a 1 or less for him. No. As I predicted, we're not going to see K15 for the rest of this scenario. All right. That will move us to the operations segment. We have no one to move up to operating. So basically, we're going to get to send K8 out this week, and then he'll be able to patrol in the final week, and that's going to be it. So where should we send him? I'm thinking some of the areas that are possible. We got South China Sea 1 that might be an ultra area, South China Sea 2, North Philippine Sea, which isn't one of ours. We got the Banda Sea as a possibility. Just trying to think of where we might be able to send him to be able to respond to where an ultra area might crop up. I think South China Sea 2 is probably our best bet, because any one of these three could potentially be ultra areas, and he'd be able to reach any of those. So let's send him to South China Sea 2. He'll have a transit event check in the Java Sea with 3 red boxes, so 7, 8, or 9. After our +1, -1 modifiers cancel each other out. And he got a 0, so no transit event check. He will patrol there next turn. And that is it. Very quick turn that time. On to the final week of the scenario. War event phase. Did not get a 0. So our ultra roll is a 1, which I think was not anything we can make use of. Empire Pacific and the Gilberts. So for our weather check, nope, no 0 on the black die. That was our initial roll. So, triple R. We've got these 2 that will move over, but won't be able to do anything. We'll roll to see if K10 makes it ready for C. He does not. And then K15's repairs. He does not move. So that is going to be it for, oh, right. He's not even going to be able to patrol because this is the end of the scenario. So that does it. So we finished up end of week 4 of May 1942. Our final tallies were 23 ships sunk for a total of 43,000 tons. And we had 3 subs that were lost, plus the one that was too badly damaged to be repaired but didn't count against us. So for our final assessment for the victory conditions, 36,000 plus tons is a decisive victory, which we achieved. And then if we had sunk 2 or more capital ships, we could raise that by 2 levels, but can't go any higher than decisive. 1 capital ship sunk, you could raise it by 1 level. And then if we had lost 4 or more subs, which we were very close to doing, we would have had to lower it to substantive. I looked up how to pronounce that word. So anyway, yeah, decisive victory with 43,000 tons. I'm very pleased with that. And that's going to do it for this series of videos. I hope you all enjoyed watching them. I had a blast playing the game and making the videos. I appreciate all the help from those that chimed in with some questions and things that I had on Board Game Geek and through the comments. Appreciate all that. And I will probably see you in a future episode. Have to decide what I want to play next. Contemplating either another scenario of this game or possibly something else. So we'll see you when that time comes. Thanks everybody for watching. Good night.